The Overwatch League, as we know it, is done. We knew it was only a matter of time, we all knew the worst was gonna happen, but now it's official. Today, on November 8th, it was made public that the teams of the Overwatch League, the 19 remaining that is, voted to exit. According to a report by the Esports Advocate, they learned that a majority of the Overwatch League franchises voted to leave immediately through official paperwork. Funny enough though, earlier in the day, Toronto Defiant announced their own individual exit from the Overwatch League, essentially hinting that this news was inevitable. Overactive Media, the parent company of Toronto Defiant, confirmed their exit from the league in a press release earlier today, where they disclosed that they'll be receiving the $6 million US termination fee that comes with leaving the league. Once that came out, we were like, yeah, it's only a matter of time, but I guess it's coming out as soon as today thanks to an official statement made by an Overwatch League spokesperson. This info comes from esports reporter Yiska of GG Recon. He was able to get a comment from that executive that said the following: "We are transitioning from the Overwatch League and evolving competitive Overwatch in a new direction. We are grateful to everyone who made OWL possible and remain focused on building our vision of a revitalized esports program. We are excited to share details with you all in the near future." In other words, the Overwatch League is ending how it is currently with their system, and they are transitioning to a new structure. It doesn't totally mean the Overwatch League is dead, it just means that in its current iteration it's dead. The Overwatch League itself could live on, but obviously in a way different manner compared to what we've seen the last 6 years. And yes, that is absolutely heartbreaking, but we've had a lot of time to digest this. We knew this was coming. It's a very sad day for us all indeed. It's never going to be the same. The last 6 years were amazing, and the memories are going to live on in my heart forever. However, we needed changes in order to survive and evolve with our current ecosystem. The sad truth is, Overwatch League just couldn't survive how it was any longer. Franchising was very ambitious, it was a super cool idea back in the day, but it just can't survive given the current state of the league and Blizzard and esports itself. It just wasn't going to happen. Everybody was unhappy, nobody was making any money, and the truth of the matter is, by moving away from the league and franchising, it could be opening up a lot of new opportunities for more people to get involved, for more people to come back to the game even. There are a bunch of ideas out there, and we really don't know what the future holds just yet, hence them saying that they're going to reveal stuff soon. Now, does that mean we have no idea what to expect? Well, actually, we have a pretty decent idea. For starters, with the lack of franchising, that means we're likely going to more of a regional, open ecosystem, where it's gonna go back to the old days before OWL was a thing. Instead of it being a global thing, it's more so like Europe, North America, and Asia. And because there's not so much of a budget thing going on, there's no limits on some of the rosters that we can see. We're not going to have to worry about running out of money to form your dream team. You can do whatever the heck you want right now in a lot of situations. There's not going to be a bunch of salaried players. In some instances, there will be, but for the most part, we're going to see things like the upcoming Flash Ops tournament, where we have people like Prophet, Birdring, Smurf, Izayaki, and Violet on the same team. Cool stuff like that is now opened. The possibilities feel endless. Doesn't necessarily mean it's going to be successful and that we're going to be better off than we were with the Overwatch League. No, there's really no guarantee there at all, but that's kind of where we're headed. There'll still be prize pools and whatnot and money to be made, but it's going to be more just for fun and making a name for yourself just like back in the day. And in a way, I think that's pretty cool. In terms of who's going to be operating this new open circuit in the Overwatch League, we actually have a general idea of who could be in charge of that as well. Blizzard has constantly been in negotiations and talks with third-party organizers, and a couple have emerged on the surface as potential buyers. There's ESL Faceit Group and WDG Esports. And this just might be the best case scenario in terms of being able to preserve and survive with the esports scene, at least in the current day. You see, ESL Faceit Group is absolutely massive. They're one of the leaders in the esports world, and recently they got got Saudi Arabian backed and purchased for over $1 billion. So this is quite the valuable company. And Saudi Arabia, if you don't know, has been consistently investing in esports recently. Their interest is growing by the day. Their investments are growing by the day. And there's a good chance that money is not going to be running out anytime soon. They seem very committed to the long-term future of esports, at least for the time being. Just to put it into perspective just how interested they are, supposedly last September, the Saudi Sovereign Wealth Fund earmarked nearly $40 billion for a new conglomerate aimed at transforming the Kingdom of Saudi Arabia into the ultimate global hub for games and esports by 2030. They saw what they were doing out west and in Korea, and they said, yeah, we want a part of that. So needless to say, they are very interested, not just in Overwatch, but in the esports scene in general. And if they're the ones taking control of the Overwatch League as anticipated, then maybe we'll actually be able to get some decent investment into the esport and have it at least kind of thrive and survive, or just maintain. And if they can find some success while showing this interest, maybe that could lead to some other companies getting some interest as well. But at the very least, we know that they're going to be interested. Honestly, Saudi Arabian Overwatch is literally at the top of the world right now. Their interest in the scene has grown tremendously over the last couple of years. They've been dominating European contenders, and most recently, they just won the Overwatch World Cup gold medal, which is only going to inspire more esports athletes over there to get invested and try their best to make it to the top in honor of their country, or to just make a career for themselves. That EMEC region could be poppin', man. I mean, not just European players and Saudi Arabian players, we're talking Korean, American, everybody could be flocking over there like a bunch of birds to get in on the prize pool, so to speak, and to get in on continuing their career with this game. We've seen the growth of it over the last couple of years. I mean, even when it wasn't as known in like 2021, 2022, we saw a lot of professional Overwatch League players go over to the Saudi E-League and compete over there. Now that there's no Overwatch League, and again, that's where the competition and the money is at, you could see a lot of big name players that you know and love go and compete over there. I think this region could see some very interesting tournaments in the future if this investment and this agreement goes through as expected. As for WDG, obviously they are nowhere near as big as ESL Face It, but it seems like they could be taking care of all the stuff out in Korea. And they already have some experience working with the Overwatch League. They did some offline LAN events during the qualifiers for the APAC region, and I believe they also helped produce the Mid-Season Madness tournament out in Korea. They have a little studio out in Seoul, and it's a pretty decent venue. Nothing spectacular, but it holds a decent number of people, and it seemed like it was mildly successful. And it seems like they want to keep their foot in the door for Overwatch esports. Already, this upcoming Flash Ops Winter Tournament thing in Korea, they're hosting an offline LAN event when the finals come around. And that could only be the beginning and a prelude of what's to come when the Overwatch League gets announced or their future plans get set in stone. Seems like they'll have their own little corner just like the good old days, and it could end up reminding us a bit of the Apex days. Maybe not to the same scale, of course, given the state of esports and the levels of investment, but it's better than nothing. But yeah, that's currently where we stand. Nothing has been made official just yet, but that seems to be what the future of Overwatch esports has for us on the horizon. We have a couple of investors, a couple of companies that want to help produce and create these future tournaments. It seems like it's going to be a more open circuit ecosystem, just like back in the day. There's going to be less limitations, no franchises, but there could still be some teams that you know and love and some players sticking around. Like I said before, it seems like a lot of these guys still have the passion for the game. A bunch of amazing players have already signed up for this Flash Ops tournament. It's going to be absolutely loaded in all of the regions. And on top of it, even though all of these teams are leaving in the Overwatch League, some of them still could stick around to some capacity, but obviously a little bit different. Maybe not investing as much, but still having the same name and likeness. Like Toronto Defiant, for example, even though they had their buyout fee go through, they still want to be a part of whatever is to come, and they still have their head coach Casares around under contract, so they have interest. Boston kept a couple of their players. I think it's Decay and Smurf. It seems like to some capacity, some of these teams will be around still. The future is going to be very interesting for this esport. Overwatch League, as we know it, is dead, but the very spirit of it definitely is not. Man, though, this is a really tough day. We all knew it was coming. It was only a matter of time, but for myself and a lot of you other people out there who live for this game and this esports scene and have been around since the beginning, it's tough to see it go like this. I have put 6 years of interest into this game, 6 years worth of work on this YouTube channel to grow it where it is. It's a very weird situation. It's heartbreaking in a way. There's so many memories in my heart, so many amazing people that I've met on the journey, and I really don't know what's going to happen from here. As for what's to come, well, the channel's not going to die. I am not done making videos just yet. Now that the Overwatch League as we know it is dead, it opens up a lot of possibilities on Overwatch League history content that I can make, all-time content. There's still a lot of ideas that I want to get out there, and I hope that you'll stick around with me and see what's to come. And along with that, I'll probably be keeping you up to date with any future news that we have, and talking about some of these individual tournaments, like I might be covering the Flash Ops tournament. There's still stuff to come, so don't unsubscribe. Stick with me on this journey, and let's build something special. I love you guys so much. That's all I have for you. Have a blessed day. Peace.